Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Christy, Alonso.
What the Flick?
Oh my god, did I say that?
Hey everybody, welcome to Breakfast All Day.
Joe, I'll start over.
Christy, Alonso.
I'll start over. Hey everybody, welcome to Breakfast All Day. Christy, Alonso. I almost said What the Flick. Old habits die hard. By the way, thank you to everybody who has been telling people online, hey, by the way, did you know that the What the Flick people are over at Breakfast All Day? Because we are, and it seems to be slow going, even though it's been a year now of letting people know that's the deal. So keep it up.
Thank you.
Let our old audience find us. Thank you for that. So this is an indie called Villains. Is it day and date, or what's the deal? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know. I'll look it up while you're talking about it.
Okay.
You just watched it.
I did. So this is a dark comedy, I guess. Dark comedy of a crime movie. A pair of young, small-time crooks played by Maika, Monroe, and
Bill Skarsgård.
That was Bill Skarsgård?
Yes!
Shut
that's Pennywise.
up!
Who do you think it was?
I had read that before, and then I forgot about it, and the whole movie I'm going, I don't know who this guy is.
It's so nice to see him without the clown makeup,
Yes,
isn't it?
he has, like, flesh-colored flesh.
He's a babe.
He's really good at this.
He's really good at this. His timing is great.
They are fleeing a convenience store robbery. Their car runs out of gas. They find a house in the middle of nowhere. They figure they'll like siphon some gas or steal the car or whatever. And then they find a young girl chained up in the basement. And then the homeowners come home, who are played by Kyra Sedgwick and Donovan.
Jeffrey Donovan.
Why do I always do that?
He was on Burn Notice.
Burn Notice, yes. What is Burn Notice? And then things start getting crazy. So yeah, I was reminded of when I was a programmer for the USA Film Festival in Dallas in the 1990s. I started in 1995, and it was the post-Pulp Fiction era.
Oh, okay.
And so I saw like countless shitty indies that you will never see, that went nowhere, that were clearly like trying to grab that Tarantino brass ring. This movie doesn't exactly do that, but I was reminded of it in terms of its sort of scuzziness, in terms of the behavior involved and the characters. Like there's a lot of speed sweatiness to this movie.
It's scuzzy, but it's also cheeky. Because these are like gross, bad people, but the movie wants you to like them.
Yes.
And how do you not?
And you kind of do. Yeah.
From the very beginning, you hear them before you see them.
Yes.
You hear them as they are in the process of trying to hold up this convenience store at this like middle of nowhere gas station, and like they're so bumbling, but they're so like effervescently so. Like they're trying to help each other, and they really mean well. Like they're not bad people, but they're all desperate.
Yes.
And the way that their boyfriend and girlfriend, you don't really know a whole lot about them at all. Like where they came from, how they got to this point. They drop you into the middle of their robbery.
Their dream is to go to Florida.
They want to go to Florida and just live on the beach and just make enough money to survive every day. And they have this kind of crappy sedan. It's hard to know what year this is, and I kind of like that about it. I mean, they reference how old the TV is in the house,
right?
And the older couple, the Jeffrey Donovan and Kyra Sedgwick couple, they dress like something out of Ozzie and Harriet.
Yes.
Like they dress like they're in the 50s.
I think their car is pretty current, though.
Okay. But no one has cell phones.
Yeah, there's no cell phones. There's no laptops. Like the internet does not play a role in this movie
right.
at all.
And so I kind of like the timelessness of it. It could really be a number of different times. And they have such fun chemistry with each other. This is written and directed by a couple of guys, Berk and Robert Olsen. And there's just like a snap and a verve to the dialogue. But I was also very impressed by something that's so hard to do, and that is the tonal shifts the movie makes, because it definitely evolves. It's not just wacky, cheeky, zippy banter. It goes to really dark, weird places. And then it goes to violent places. And then it kind of wants to make you care eventually. And that's the harder thing that they kind of struggle toward, but it's not egregious in terms of a shock tonally from where we have been prior to that.
I think where the movie loses me is that once we unpack and learn the pathology of Donovan and Sedgwick, sorry, it feels trite. It feels like we've seen it in a lot of movies about like crazy bad people. And then what kind of makes it worse in a way is that Kyra Sedgwick is giving such a good performance and makes the character so empathetic that it's hard to treat her like the two-dimensional nutcase villain that the movie kind of needs her to be. Mm-hmm. And so I was sort of like, I was at first kind of put off just by how like familiar their backstory is, and then kind of surprised at how much she made me care about this woman. And so the bad guys are there for the couple we like to overcome, but I kind of was feeling a lot of empathy for her because she was so good.
Maybe that's the point. Is to make you feel conflicted about
that's the thing.
People. Maybe that's the point.
I don't think it's the point. I don't think the movie is that interested in having you care about them. I think the movie really is about, will they overcome them or won't they? I don't think there's enough levels there that we're supposed to take the crazy homeowner people seriously. I think they are there as the villains.
Or is it the idea that the younger couple could become the older couple if they stay true to this path that they are on?
No. I didn't see that at all.
You don't see any parallels at all between the fact that they're fighting each other, but perhaps they're not all that different from each other because they both are living a big criminal, schemy lie. I don't know. No.
I think maybe you're giving the movie a little more credit.
But they're all telling each other that they're doing it for the right reasons.
That's a heavy read, lady. I'm sure the director's like, yes, that's what we meant.
You got it, Christy
exactly.
Lemire. Thank you. We're going to blurb you for this wordy, nice thing you just said.
But this movie does have a good energy. It does have there is a sleazy sense of fun to it. And the four performances are all really fun to watch.
I always really like Maika Monroe. I think she makes interesting choices.
Yes.
And she's very good in this. And yeah, they're all having to outsmart each other, and there's a lot of physicality to it, and it moves really, really well.
And if you've never seen Bill Skarsgård outside of the It movies, you will be surprised.
I feel like he's also been a model. I feel like he's also been like a Calvin Klein model.
Probably.
Because he's like 6'3" and lanky and has those cheekbones.
That's like when you say it sounds familiar.
I feel like I've seen him in black and white in just like jeans.
Well, it's funny because Alexander Skarsgård pops up in the first episode of On Becoming a God in Central Florida, and it wasn't until the end of the episode, or actually much later, that I was like, oh right, he and Kirsten Dunst were the couple that gets married in Melancholia.
Oh right, yeah.
So we might do On Becoming a God.
I think we should.
Yeah,
we got to figure out a way to do it.
We got to get caught up. Maybe we'll at least do one big recap at the end of the season. But if we can get caught up, maybe we can get caught up and jump in media res or something.
Is it airing once a week?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think the first week they aired 2, and then since then it's 1 a week.
I think we should do that.
Okay.
Let us know.
Anyway, so what are your numbers?
Oh, I'm saying 7.8. I had a really good time.
And I said 6.8.
You did. You said 6.8.
6.8.
You want to stay with that?
6.8 sounds good.
7.3 is our number. It's at 85%, and I just looked it up. It's nationwide this week. I'm not sure if it's on VOD, but it's in enough markets that it's maybe at one theater in top 20 plus markets or whatever. So if you want to see villains, if you want some alternative programming to Downton Abbey. Something small and weird.
Why would you?
So that's our so that's it for us for reviews for this week, right?
Yes. Do you have is there an a la carte in the chamber?
Thank you so much for asking. So this week's my a la carte interview guest is Matt Sales, the brilliant photographer Matt Sales, who worked for the Associated Press for a while. He named an A-list star, including Brad Pitt, who we discussed earlier, and he has shot this person. He also does a lot of really interesting work with trying to depict people who we don't see often enough on film. So he has a gorgeous series of beautifully curvy women of color, but he shoots them like they're 90s Calvin Klein models. Huh. He shoots women who, and they're often in a bikini or they're in lingerie, and he shoots them with all of the fierceness and the verve and the pout and the sex appeal of Christy Turlington or Cindy Crawford at her peak. And so his work is beautiful. He's also doing these photos of couples, real life committed couples in very intimate situations. And it's every kind of body type. It's gay, straight. It's every kind of ethnicity. And they're really beautiful too. So Matt Sales is coming out on Monday, and he's brilliant.
Did you and your husband do it?
We did not.
Okay.
Because no one needs to see that. Our boudoir photography. We go to the mall to glamour shots for that stuff. I want a feather boa, and I want like dangled rhinestone earrings, and I want like,
what's that light called? The sort of twinkle sparkle light.
I need as much twinkle as I can.
Star filter or something.
I need that. So so Monday is Matt Sales, so keep an ear out for that.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for watching this video. Won't you like it? Won't you subscribe to our YouTube channel? Won't you visit us at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at BeFastAllDay? And won't you go visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay, where we do movie news and trailers, TV recaps, and every so often we let some of our members pick a movie we're going to talk about. They have chosen for this week the 1975 comedy Smile. Christy and I will be reviewing that this week on the Patreon. So go visit and check that out. And if you are already a member of our Patreon, thank you so much. We super appreciate it. And if not, maybe you oughta. I don't know.
Thanks for everything.
Bye.
Bye.